What's up, guys? Welcome back to the review space, and today we are going to take a look at the results for the pay-per-view TLC. That's right, WWE TLC results recap review. Alright, so this pay-per-view started off with Zack Ryder against Dolph Ziggler for the United States Championship, and this was the opener of the pay-per-view. Oh, well, this was a very, very great opening match, probably one of the better ones I've ever seen, and the crowd was into it. It was hyped up. It was there was a lot of emotional investment here because Zack Ryder was the fan favorite, and he actually ends up beating Dolph Ziggler. That's right, and he becomes the new United States champion. This went on for over 10 minutes. Very good match, actually, back and forth. It seemed like there were times when Dolph Ziggler, he was hitting his signature moves, and But you know what I'm saying, Zack Ryder was just kicking out. He was kicking out, and you felt it. You felt that it was coming. The Zack Ryder, there was just, as the match went on, you know, you felt like, man, Zack Ryder really has a chance. Like you really felt like this guy was about to win the championship. And I knew it the moment when Vickie Guerrero was she was banned from the ringside by the referee. I mean, Dolph Ziggler was in trouble. And so finally, Zack Ryder manages to hit his finisher, and bam! He wins the gold, and the crowd rejoices at the Baltimore arena, and that was it, man. I mean, he got it. Actually, it was the first Mariner arena at Baltimore. Okay, so second match. Air Boom, which is Evan Ward and Kofi. They were the tag team champions, defending it against Primo and Epico, the cousins. And of course, I mean, Primo, he's no stranger to tag team gold, holding the tag team unified tag team belts with his brother Carlito back in the day, and also with Rosa Mendez, who is basically their valet of sorts. Didn't really expect too much from this match. It was kind of like a last-minute thing. Just nice to see the Air Boom defending it again, and you know, back in action. They were able to defend their championship. Yes. They were able to fend off Primo and Epico. It was a kind of an okay match, you know, and nothing really stood out too much. It lasted about 7.5 minutes, and I mean, they landed some pretty. There were some high spots in there, you know, some high flying especially from Evan Bourne, and Kofi manages to hit his finishing move, and you know, Trouble in Paradise, and get the pinfall. So that was it. Will Primo and Epico get another title shot at the tag team titles? Probably. I mean, this might not be the end of it, but they really have to establish these guys, because it just seems like this match was thrown together at the last minute. You know, they were sort of given this, you know, they tried to give it a backstory, like, you know, they got some singles win and all that stuff, and they won like a tournament or something, but you know, you really need a build-up for some of these tag teams. I would have liked to have seen the Usos, actually. The Usos, for them to finally get a tag team championship title. Because to me, they feel like a real legit tag team. They have their whole gimmick going on. You know, it's like they have everything going on. So, alright, match number 3. Randy Orton against Wade Barrett in a tables match. This was a match that I actually was I wasn't too excited about, but I was actually quite taken by this match. I actually liked it. It was an enjoyable, entertaining match, really, from beginning to end. I mean, I actually ended up sitting down and watching it. So, you know, the third match of the night, and I was still interested in the pay-per-view. I was definitely still into it. They told a good story. And Wade Barrett was actually fairly dominant throughout the match, and it looked like there were times he could have won it, and he could have put Randy through a table. But Randy, of course, being the Viper, was able to, out of nowhere, hit the RKO as Wade Barrett jumps from the rope. I don't know if it was the top. I think it was the second rope, and he was about to do like maybe an elbow drop with Randy through the table. But then Randy just counters it into an RKO and puts Wade instead through the table. And then he wins it, and that was it. I mean, it was kind of funny because Randy was grinning after the match. I don't know if there was a legit grin, like he was happy that the move itself came off really well. The RKO was such a success. or it was because he was just happy storyline-wise that he beat Wade Barrett. Like, yeah, you know what I mean, I got this guy. And it looks like he actually checked on Wade Barrett at the end. He kind of turned him over, and he said something to him. It was probably like, are you alright? You know what I mean? But, yeah, not a bad finish at all, and actually quite a decent match. Alright, match number 4, Beth Phoenix versus Kelly, and Beth Phoenix defending her Divas Championship. I gotta admit, I didn't really pay too much attention to this match. As a matter of fact, I was kind of, well, I didn't really pay too much attention here. Kind of just fast forwarding through this match. Didn't really, really wasn't into it at all. The ending, I mean, Beth was able to, I think she was able to hit an electric chair. And Kelly landing on her face. And Beth Phoenix able to take the pinfall and retain the championship. And she was actually yelling at the end of the match, forever. And it was actually kind of cool. I mean, it sort of signified that she's this dominant, a diva champion. I think that maybe when Karma returns, maybe there could be a storyline there where she returns and finally you can have a legit contender for the Divas title. I don't know when Karma's going to return, but Beth Phoenix having a pretty decent title reign right now, so I don't see anybody taking it off her. Alright, number 5, match number 5, this is Kevin Nash against Triple H. This is a sledgehammer ladder match. So, okay. This match, in my opinion, got way too much time. Okay, it lasted for over 18 minutes long. I mean, not quite 20 minutes, but definitely, it definitely felt a little too long. It ran way too long, and I feel kind of bad for the people that had to pay to see this. Because, I am sorry, but this was absolute, like, slow fest. Like, this was such a slow-paced, sluggish match, thanks to Kevin Nash, who was incredibly slow. He moved like he was 80 years old. And, I mean, this guy is just absolutely uninspiring inside the ring. I mean, the guy he can still tell a decent story. I mean, thanks to Triple H, and, these guys are still, veterans of the ring, and they can tell a story. And they tried to mask, the idea that, Kevin Nash can't really move that well, so they tried to, they went against the ropes. They tried, not against the ropes, but they went to the corners really quickly, and they started brawling in the corners, and just trying to make it look like a real brawl fest instead of an actual technical wrestling match. And they utilized, of course, the weapons, the ladders, and there was even a table involved, where Kevin Nash ends up going through it. I mean, Triple H gets the sledgehammer. He defeats him. At the very least, I'm thankful that somebody who's legit can actually, he won the match. The Trips was able to at least defeat Kevin Nash. I hope this is the end of this whole thing, because I really can't stand this feud. This feud has been incredibly boring. There's really nothing captivating about it. It's just two guys who are, two old guys going at it, and I'm just glad that it's over. Hopefully it's over. Oh man, got way too much. This was actually the longest, not the longest, but this was the second longest match of the night. And I think it just got way too much time for what it was worth. Alright, match number 6, we got Sheamus against Jack Swagger. This was an impromptu match scheduled last minute, right on the pay-per-view actually, by Teddy Long, backstage. Jack Swagger against Sheamus. I always kind of felt these two were parallel to each other, much in the same way that Batista and John Cena were parallel, had parallel careers. I felt like these guys they kind of came in around the same time. Maybe Jack Swagger came out first. He was in ECW first, won the championship there, then moved on. Sheamus, he was at ECW, found some success, and then moved on. And then Jack Swagger becoming the world champion at SmackDown around the same time. Sheamus becoming the WWE champion on Raw. Sheamus was definitely the he was the main guy here. He was the guy who was going to be pushed. He was the guy who was going to go over. He is the Raw guy. He's the favorite guy. He's Vince McMahon's guy. Jack Swagger, he's definitely a great guy, a great wrestler. He's great in the ring. He's, you know, he's got it. And I personally like Jack Swagger over Sheamus. I'd rather watch Jack Swagger because I think he is more of a fun character. You know, I'm a mark for Jack Swagger, but of course Sheamus ends up winning it with a bro kick, and not much to say here. It was just a basic story between a babyface Sheamus and a heel Jack Swagger, and two guys who kind of can be comparable. Alright. Match number 7. This was Big Show against Mark Henry for the World Championship, aka the SmackDown title. This was a chairs match. A lot of the chairs were definitely involved here. There was Mark Henry just seemed like he was limping the whole time, and then by the end of it, Big Show was able to hit the Weapons of Mass Destruction knockout punch. You know, even he was selling like, you know, he was like completely, you know, destroyed, and pretty much like his hand was busted up. He was able to get the win here. He was able to win the world title, which was a little bit surprising. You know, I wasn't really expecting that. I didn't really want him to win, but nonetheless, he became the champion. But only for a brief minute. You see, right at the end of it, Mark Henry attacks Big Show from behind. He hits him with the chairs, and he DDTs him to the chair actually. And you know, as Mark Henry was leaving the ring, in comes Daniel Bryan and his theme music and the Money in the Bank. He cashes it in, and at a fallen Big Show, 1, 2, 3 pinfall. The winner, new World Heavyweight Championship and another title change. Daniel Bryan is the new World Champion. Oh snap! What an awesome tacular moment. Now I can only imagine everybody complaining about this because, well, it was way too soon. It just didn't feel like there was enough build-up. You know, what's going to happen to Daniel Bryan? His title reign, you know, is it going to be another meaningless short title reign a la Jack Swagger? You know, I mean, what's going to happen in the future? You know, where's the long-term booking here? I mean, but the crowd was hot, you know what I'm saying? The crowd was really into it. They were really hyped up for it. They enjoyed the moment. I think generally the crowd, the fans were happy that Daniel Bryan was able to become finally the world champion. And it was a smart ROH fan moment, you know. I was just like, yeah, I felt like yelling ROH, ROH, you know, chanting ROH. Definitely a good win. But, again, I can totally understand where all the smarts are coming from. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Was it way too soon? Should it have been a WrestleMania cash-in? How long is Daniel Bryan going to hold this championship? How long is he going to be a world champion? I mean, at this point, every single week that he comes out with a world title, are people going to keep cheering for him? Is he going to get the loud pops, or is the pops going to start, you know, waning and fading as the weeks progress? Definitely happy that he won, but at the same time, maybe it was a little bit too soon. Alright, match number 9. This is Cody Rhodes against Booker T for the Intercontinental Championship. There was actually a couple of times during the night where Booker T was jumped from behind by Cody Rhodes. Yes, in a very traditional heel fashion, Cody Rhodes was just like antagonizing Booker T constantly. Booker T finally having a match against Cody for the IC belt. Kind of surprised as this was the second last match of the night, so very, very interesting there. I kind of feel like maybe Cody Rhodes is finally starting to become a world title contender, you know. Maybe this guy, the higher this guy is on the card, I mean, there could be that chance that, you know, they're finally looking at him as this guy's going to be the next big thing. Well, he defeats Booker T. He was able to retain the championship. Actually hit him a couple of times with the beautiful disaster kick, which I don't know about him using this finishing move. I mean, he hit him the first time Booker T kicked out, and then he hit him a second time, and then he was able to get the pinfall. I thought that maybe he should have used his actual finisher, you know, but I can't complain too much because Cody Rhodes was able to retain. I wanted Cody Rhodes to win this. I did not see any reason for Booker T to win this at all. Happy that Cody Rhodes was able to retain, so good for Cody. Alright, and the final match of the night, the main event, is CM Punk, WWE Champion, defending it against The Miz and Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez. And poor Ricardo Rodriguez, he was just constantly belittled throughout the night. You know, Miz chucking the plate of food on his face. And it was just, and then Alberto just shoving him down, you know what I mean, just pushing him to the ground. Could there be a possible Ricardo Rodriguez turn on Alberto? I can see it. You know, I can see Ricardo finally growing a spine and finally stepping up to Alberto and leaving him. You know, Alberto's like, oh no, you know, like, you know, they finally split up. TLC match for the WWE title. I gotta be honest, I didn't really watch this match the whole way through. I kind of just fast forward through it. I skimmed through it, you know, just kind of because honestly, there's not a lot of investment in here for me. I didn't really invest a lot of time in this feud. It wasn't really a feud per se. It was just kind of a match between three former champions, and you know, one of them is a current champion. And it was really just a match for CM Punk to shine and CM Punk to finally retain it, and kind of, you know, CM Punk retaining the gold. It felt like a pay-per-view win for CM Punk. It felt like a WWE Championship retaining pay-per-view win for Punk to kind of have a moment and to kind of be solidified, further solidified as a champion by beating two former WWE champions. And this was a very predictable ending. I didn't really expect anybody else to win this. The Miz and Alberto, you know, didn't really see them winning it at all. CM Punk, I just hope that, you know, with all this time that they're investing in Punk, that he continues to become the champion, at least at the very, you know, at WrestleMania, you know, and maybe he can actually defend it at WrestleMania and retain the championship there, and maybe kind of be the... Unfortunately, I think they also mentioned that John Cena and The Rock were going to have it's going to be a championship match. Maybe there could be a triple threat there with Cena, Punk, and The Rock. You know, maybe that could be it. I could definitely see that happening. The more as the months go by, as the weeks progress, I see that the chance of that match at WrestleMania happening. So, and throughout the night on TLC, they had the little segments with Teddy Long, and he was in a Santa outfit. And I thought that the beginning, the intro segment with Hornswoggle was actually kind of funny. It wasn't an intro, but it was one of the early segments. Hornswoggle was finally speaking, and they made some funny. They had some funny interaction. So I thought that was that was pretty good. They had other segments, like, you know, with the Sheamus, and I think the Bella Twins were there. But as far as, you know, backstage segments, yeah, that was pretty much it. You know, nothing too amazing, nothing too, you know, they didn't really have anything else. They had some promos. I think they had a promo for a WWE Network. And what else? You know, that was pretty much it. That's all I can remember right now. But yeah, overall, it was a decent pay-per-view. I actually kind of thought that most of it was pretty watchable. Again, I mean, the Zack Ryder, the opener match was pretty darn good. You know, Zack Ryder against Dolph. You know what I'm saying? The Air Boom, even that match, that was okay. The Randy Orton against Wade Barrett match, that was a decent match. Beth Phoenix retaining it, awesome. Really, the only thing I didn't like was a Triple H Kevin Nash. That was pretty much the only thing that I really did not want on this pay-per-view. And it got way, way too much time. I could understand if it got like maybe 10 minutes, you know, 10 minutes at the most, but 18 minutes is just, that's a little too long. And, what else? Daniel Bryan, that was the big moment. Daniel Bryan becoming the new world champion. Alright, so that's it for this review of TLC 2011. Thank you for watching the review space. Let me know what you guys think. What you guys thought of this pay-per-view. Let me know at the comment section. Yeah, I'm sizzling. How did you find the pay-per-view if you watched it? What's your favorite matches? Go check out the rest of the channel. Comment, rate, subscribe. All that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? This channel could use a lot more support, you guys. A lot more support. And that's it. Until next time. Ciao!